What is up, guys, and welcome back to episode number 40 now of the Leeds United career mode. Got 3 comments about to pop up on your screen for you guys to see. It's from you guys yourselves who have told me. The first one from Harry Jones to sign some youth talent from the Liga NOS or the Pro League, which is the Belgian league as well. You will be seeing I do look at a few Liga NOS players in this episode, but unfortunately, ultimately, I'm not able to sign any of them. Mark Ettel, who's commented before on the episodes, has said that I should probably try and sign Correa, Niang, or Origi, as they are actually very good youngsters, as he does say there. And then the final comment comes from someone all the way in America, saying, greetings from the USA, keep up the videos, and sign a new youth scout and get more players like Joel Green. Also, don't forget about Ronaldo Vieira, because that's another player as well who hasn't featured as much in this Premier League season as he was last season. So, fingers crossed, we'll be able to get ourselves another scout today, which you do see. I think I get one later on in this episode. If it's not this one, it's definitely the next episode. I did get myself a new scout, and fingers crossed, he will find us another Joel Green. You can see the short list of players that I've got looking at right now. There's only one player there from the Liga NOS, which is for the striker, very, very young. I can't remember his name. Might have been, I think it's from Benfica, he is, or it might be Porto, actually. One of the two sides. He's pretty much the only one in terms of value that we can get close to affording. It's Luka Jovic, there you go. £8 million they said they wanted in the end, did the Portuguese side. So, in the end, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing here, because as you can see, the budget at Leeds at the moment we've got is 7.3 million with a 97 grand a week. So, the players like Correa, the players like Niang, and the players like Origi that Mark Ettel suggested are unfortunately a little bit too much in terms of transfer value to be able to sign in this window. I'll keep them in my shortlist though in case next season we get enough money to be able to sign one of those guys. So I'll keep them in there. In terms of that one, unfortunately, Mark Ettel, I can't sign those 3 because we just don't have enough money at the club. I did offer for Mbai Niang, you can see it here. Offered him a cheeky £7 million plus I do believe, Owen Allen as well, the young right midfielder we've got here at Leeds. But they ultimately said no and basically said that it was way too low an offer. We also tried to sign Ben Pearson, which was a comment left a long time ago when we first got back into the Premier League with Leeds United. He left me a comment with someone on that video saying sign Ben Pearson, and that was after the window had actually finished. So I offered him a deal there for the young man in the January transfer window. You're going to see as well, ultimately, he unfortunately doesn't sign for us as he does go to a different club. I offered him a straight swap for the Araga. One of the signings, though, that I was looking at last season, or the start of this window, was this man, Anwar El Ghazi there from Middlesbrough. I said I wanted to sign him a few episodes ago, or well, quite a while ago now, in this career mode when I first got into the Premier League, and we offered a cheeky offer there to Middlesbrough to try and bring him over to Ellen Road to play his football here at Leeds. And if we could get that deal accepted, I'd be very happy with that one. I think it was around 7 million. Plus, I think it was Suleimani Dakara, who we actually just rejected a 900,000 bid for. So, looking at bringing in Anwar El Ghazi to be one of our strikers at this club. He's actually set as a default right wing, but if he comes into this Leeds United side, he will be playing up front. He does have quite decent pace, decent finishing, decent heading, and he's about 6'1" or 6'2". So I'm looking at him thinking he will be a solid striker for us. He's also got medium-low work rates. It's all right. It's not the greatest work rates, because I would have preferred it to be high-low. But medium-low still works for me. So if he comes into the side, fingers crossed, he'll be an absolute star for us alongside the other players we've got here at Leeds United. We went into the first game here of the episode against Charlton in the FA Cup and are looking to retain the FA Cup. We won it last year. I'm looking to mount a defence for it this year, and I'm going to have to tell you guys right now, this is beginning to become a bit of a joke, in all honesty. When we've played against lower league sides, we've not had a lot of luck. But again, in this game, it just feels as though, me personally, I can't play against these lower league sides when I'm in the cup. Last season, we didn't have pressure, and we didn't obviously win it. But I mean, look, take a look at this. 5 minutes into this game, Charlton go down the left-hand side, put the cross in. It's a good defensive header away, but it goes straight to Tony Watt, one of the Charlton players. And how on earth he's managed to score that in a game of this magnitude? Yes, it's a wonderful strike, I have to say. But at the moment, it seems as though the teams or the goals we concede against other sides just seem to be absolute worldy goals. And it's just crazy, because it's like this goal here, I, for some reason, haven't managed to clear it. And then I went to block the shot, but somehow it isn't hit with the greatest of technique, I'll put it that way. And it ends up right in that top corner of the goal. There's nothing I can do to save that at all. There's nothing I can do against that. That is just an unbelievable strike. So we found ourselves a goal down already against Charlton in our defence of the FA Cup title. So at the moment, the way this game was going, we would be getting knocked out in the first round of the FA Cup after winning it last year. And it got even worse for us here. 13 minutes in, again, another similar chance, crossed away. Well, the cross was headed away, rather. Moat gives the ball away in a stupid area, comes to another Charlton player who, again, similar area of the pitch, strikes it goalwards. This one, though, instead of nestling in the top corner, it does exactly the same thing, except this one takes a deflection, and that's the reason it's ended up in the top corner. So 15 minutes into the game, we are 2-0 down, and in all honesty, I don't quite know what was wrong with me during this game. I have to say, Yes, the first goal was an absolute worldie, but this one I just felt as though just every bit of luck is just going against me right now. The fact that it takes a deflection the way it does and ends up nestling in the other corner, or the corner that they scored the first one in, it's just so frustrating to see the fact that I know I should be beating teams like Charlton, no disrespect to them, and then I come here, expect an easy win, and then I'd play like this and end up losing the game by 2-0 if we did lose it 2-0. 44 minutes in, Moat gets ourselves a chance in this one as he feeds off Kevin Lasanga. One of the things I want to mention as well, guys, at the moment in time, it just feels as though my strikers are not making the runs that I want them to make. Sometimes I just stand still, other times I'm getting down the wing ready to cross the ball in, and I look into the box and they're not there because they've ended up running back towards my goal for some stupid reason. I don't know what on earth. I don't know if it's my tactics or anything like that, as we should have had 2 goals in this one, 2 efforts to get myself back into the game. And in all honesty, there were poor shots by Chris Wood, and I think Lasanga was the other one. Moat down this left-hand side, feeds it into Kevin Lasanga, who's going to actually hit the bar for us here in the 90th minute. But at that point, it didn't matter if that one went in, because it would have only been 2-1. But as you can see, we had 3 chances in the game, and you're going to look at the match facts in a second, and apparently to FIFA and EA, we had 1, which is, again, how? How on earth we only had 1 shot in this entire game? I have no idea, because, again, we lost the game by 2-0, but I can count 3 chances that we had there in order to get ourselves back into this one, and yet the computer only counted 1. So again, I don't quite know how match facts work and how, if it's bugged or not, or if it's just literally, I don't quite understand how it all works and all that stuff, but we are undoubtedly out of the FA Cup, which is just so frustrating, and I can't tell you guys enough how disappointed I am at the fact that we didn't manage to even get past the first round in our defence of the FA Cup, because I can tell you right now, the 2 goals we conceded there, first one is an absolute worldie goal, and I have to say a very good strike. The second one, though, very, very unlucky to get the deflection that it does, and on another day, none of those goals for Charlton would have gone in. You saw there, we had an offer from Stoke for Alban Lefont, the man who came into Leeds United here at Ellen Road at 6.5 million a while back now in the episode. We had an offer of 25 million. I countered offer and said, if you give us 35, we'll let the young Frenchman go. We also had the offer accepted for Anwar El Ghazi. You can see, though, Stoke came back and said they were only willing to give us £31 million. So, I stalled it first, took a look at what I could have done here. You're going to see in a second. I ended up going back into it. And then at this point, I was thinking, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and accept this. £31 million for a player we signed for £6.5 million or something along those lines at the start of this season when we got into the Premier League. It's not like he's been here for a long time. It's literally he's been here since the start of this season. We sign him in, we train him up, and all of a sudden we've almost quadrupled, if not more, his price here at Leeds. If he goes for that £31 million to Stoke, that'll be an absolute unbelievable signing. The profit we'll make from that one is crazy. Anwar El Ghazi accepts his contract and becomes the first signing here in this January transfer window. You saw it there. We also took a look at Donnarumma there from AC Milan to be the replacement for Alban Lefont if Lefont does in fact leave the club for that £31 million fee that we accepted from Stoke. Anwar El Ghazi though came into the team and he would make his debut here against Everton, who are sat dead bottom of the Premier League table at the moment. We went over to Goodison Park to take on the Merseyside side, and it was very weird to see actually the fact that Everton was sat dead bottom, because like I've said way back when we actually beat them 3-0 earlier on in this in the Premier League season, it's weird because they still have a very strong Everton side, so to see them down at the bottom of the table is just a weird sighting as well. You saw there 6.5 million plus Suleiman Dakara was the fee we paid for Anwar El Ghazi, and I was really happy about getting him into the team because in all honesty, him, Joel Green, you know, we've got some big name players now in this Leeds United side. We're going in the right direction, which is what I want to see. And if we do in fact sell Alban Lefont for 31 million, we may just be able to afford one more signing in terms of big name players. I said at the start we didn't have enough for Divock Origi, we didn't have enough for those guys, but I have got in my mind, I have 2 options here. Do I go with one of those big guys in that position, or do I sign pre-contract players? Because there's a number of big name pre-contract players, and we will be able to sign 3 or 4 of those, rather than just getting one big name player right now in the January transfer window. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I'm probably swinging the way of pre-contract, and then maybe if we get enough money come the next season when we start in the summer transfer window, we'd be able to sign Origi or anyone along those lines. So for now, I think what I'm going to do, I want to thank you all so much for your comments, obviously, because it's been amazing the fact that you give me these comments and stuff like that. And I've taken them on board. I've also saved them for the next transfer window that comes around. But I think what we're going to do is, if Alban Lefont does move for that 31 million, I think we will be signing Donnarumma, obviously, because we need a replacement goalkeeper for now. But with the rest of the funds that we have from that sale, we may go ahead and just sign pre-contract players, because there's a number of big players who would help us out a whole lot next season. Let's face it, at the moment, we don't have anything to play for other than league position. We can't win it, and I'm pretty sure we can't go down. So And in my head, I'm thinking if we make a signing in January, it's not really going to help us too much come the end of the season, or we can just wait another 6 months and try and sign somebody on a pre-contract and wait till next season when we actually are really going to push for it. But Anwar El Ghazi in this game had a chance to get his first goal for Leeds United. I don't know if you saw it right way back when Heaton made a save. 74 minutes in, got the chance to go one-on-one with an Everton defender, beat the defender, got into a great position, but unfortunately ultimately hit the post. And during this game I was thinking, I can't believe this. It's like EA have just got this curse on me where they just don't want me to score. You've seen how many chances I've had in this game, and I just could not find the back of the net in any point in this one. We drew 0-0 here against Everton. A bit of an unfortunate result, I have to say. In terms of that one, they are sat bottom, so I guess you could say it's a bit of an unfortunate. But like I said, they still have a very strong side here at the Goodison Park. So for me to go there and get a 0-0 draw, I wasn't ultimately majorly disappointed. I was only slightly disappointed, but then looking back on it, it was quite a good result in all honesty, because they still have a very strong side there. So going back to what I said, the pre-contract players that I'm looking at currently are Bernard Leno of Leverkusen. He's actually an 88 rated goalkeeper, so I think we'll be able to sign him, but obviously we've got Donnarumma coming into the club, so we may not need Leno, but I just might do it because of the fact that he's 88 rated. Ericsson, who's 87 rated as well from Spurs, would be a very good signing for us. We also could sign a striker in the form of like Remy from Chelsea. His contract is also up at the end of this season. And the final player is Jan Vertonghen. So we could improve our midfield, our striker, our defence, and our goalkeeper simply from the sale of Alban Lefont, or we could sign one striker for the funds. And the reason that I'm not going to go with the fact of signing that one striker with the funds, as much as it may disappoint you, I'm sorry, Mercato. Obviously, the three you've named are very good strikers, and I will be looking at bringing them in next season. However, I just feel as though if we do that, there's nothing left for us to play for yet in this remainder of this series. So I think what we're going to do is literally sign 4 players, or those 4 players are in mind, on pre-contracts. If we can do that next episode, that'd be great. And if that comes in next season, and we do manage to sign one of what you said, Mercato, in the form of Origi, Niang, or Correa, we would have a very strong side here at Leeds United. But regardless of that, we are coming towards the end of this episode. If you have enjoyed, please drop that like button, and thank you all so much for watching and the support you've been showing in the series. I've been Danny, and I'm out. Adios.